Okay, this next video is looking at a different type of AI that's completely outside the realm of what ChatGPT does. This is the first of what they call the no-code applications that I've actually found useful and been able to work with. So it's a website called bolt.new. And what it allows you to do is simply describe what you want to build, and it writes the code for you. So I'm going to walk through part of this live and let you see how this works. And then I'm going to flip over to an actual application that I built yesterday using these exact same steps to let you see the finished product. All total, it probably took me 30, 45 minutes yesterday to do this. And that was a lot of back and forth of me just trying to figure out how the prompts needed to be written. So to start with, you literally come to a screen that has a single box on it. And in this case, I've already uploaded an image that I want it to use as the style and look and feel. And then I've given it a simple prompt that says I want to build an app. And I want it to be based off that screenshot, but it's going to function differently. So I don't want it to try and look at that screenshot and build everything that it sees. I'm going to tell it what it's going to do. And it's a pretty simple thing. Like I said, I'm just trying to prove out the concept. But it's going to be a session tracker that you could use at work. So as you have like your number of tasks you're going to do, you can set inside a session how long you worked on each one of those and record those. Okay. So it's a little hard to see in this screenshot. So here is the actual screenshot that I uploaded. So it's going to have kind of a tracker I can turn on and off, and then tasks that I've completed. And then it's going to record those sessions for me. That's the concept of what we want to do. So I put that in and I hit return. So now the screen is going to kind of split and give me a couple of different options. It now has kind of the running prompt and it's showing me step by step what it's doing, and then it's actually generating the code. So not only is it generating the individual lines of the code, it's also putting together kind of the whole environment or the stack that it needs to be able to deploy this. So each one of these, depending on how difficult the task, may take a couple seconds, might take a couple of minutes, but still 100% faster than I could be writing this code because I don't know what any of this means. It occasionally hits errors. If it does, then it will come back and it will tell you it's had a problem and it will try again. So it now immediately moved from the code view to the preview mode. And it said basically, okay, here's what I've got. Is that okay? If that's all I wanted and I was happy with that, then I could go ahead and click deploy and it would instantly now put this out on a website that was actually usable. But in this case, I want more than that because right now this wouldn't store anything if I typed something in and it doesn't really do all of the things I want it to do. So I have some other prompts that I'm just going to keep putting in here in this bottom section. So the first thing I'm going to say is it really didn't grab the look and feel that I wanted. So I'm just going to tell it to copy the user interface a little bit more from the screenshot. So now it goes back into code mode and it starts updating itself. So along the way yesterday, some of the things I had to do to keep prompting it is I had to tweak with the look and feel a little bit in some of the layouts. So that was several back and forths that we'll kind of skip over. Um, then I also wanted it to have it where it was going to store the task that I defined inside each one of those sessions and allow me to go back and view past sessions, either for that day or the day before. And it's just going to keep going back and forth and doing that. And we'll see in a second, I can actually interact with this, but it's not storing anything. So then I told it, now you've got to come up with a way to let me store this so that I can come back and see what I did yesterday. Okay, so here it's saying that it's run into a problem, so I can see what those problems are. I don't really know what those mean, so I just simply say fix the problem. So now you can see it has taken and made it look much more like that screenshot that I had, pulling in the colors and those type things. So that's what I want. I'm going to get rid of everything on this left panel because I'm not building something that complicated. But for example, if I wanted to start the timer, then I can click that. but nothing's working right now. So it has that these are screenshots, but it doesn't actually work. So let's just say, see if this part's working. That is, okay? And then if I check that, then it sees that's completed. So that piece is working, but the timer is not. So again, we'll say, so I don't know what it's going to have to do to fix that, but I've just told it make the timer work. So it will now go back and start putting in some things. So again, it's, building out CSS, it's building out the index and the JSON files, which again, right now are pretty small, but can get quite long as you keep going through and doing additional things. So now let's see, does our timer work? Now our timer works, so that's good. So like I say, I kept going back and forth with prompts, tweaking things where things were positioned. I wanted it to say my name instead of Amanda because that's what the screenshot said. So I had several back and forth to that. But at the end, I clicked deploy. And then that actually hosts this on a publicly facing website that's through them. So if you were actually going to use this for real software, it gives you the ability to then take that and push that to your own domain, but for free or for $20 a month to have the entire subscription to this. The deploy part's free. You can have it publicly facing. So this is the site that I built. So you can see I kind of tweaked with the colors and the look and feel. I made the timer a little bigger up at the top, and then I have the task. I also didn't want it to allow me to add task until I'd started the timer. So I told it to not let me click add until this was started. So now if I go in and do this, and again, I'll just say finish the video. Whatever we're doing here, right? So then as I go through and say, yep, I want to finish that one, but that one's not completed before I have to end the session, then it will do that. And it will now show me session history. That's the two that I've done today. If I wanted to see what I did yesterday, then I can see that here. So it's a pretty, way more advanced than I would have been able to do, if I'd taken months to try and sit and code this, because I didn't understand any of how this needed to be written. But this was something I was able to do from start to finish, complete novice with this software, in like I say, about 30 or 45 minutes of just tweaking back and forth. So it's called Bolt.new. And again, it's the best example I've seen so far of a true no-code application.